Just 3 days after coming across a piece of content online, people can only remember about 10% of the things that they hear or read, but they can remember up to 65% of the things that they see. And that 55% difference can be the difference between somebody remembering your brand and going through to purchase your product or service, or forgetting who you are and Googling and going straight to a competitor. So I'm here to make sure it's the former by showing you how to make really impressive marketing material with one really simple and easy to use online tool. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you specifically the graphic design capabilities of Adobe Spark. But if you're also interested in incorporating video content into your marketing strategy, make sure to check out my other tutorial that is dedicated purely to the video capabilities of Adobe Spark's platform. So today I'm going to be showing you how to create an animated Instagram story using both the desktop and mobile app of Adobe Spark. And I'm going to also show you just how easy it is to repurpose and resize your design for use on other social networks and maybe on your website as well. So I want you to start by heading to the link in the description and jump straight into the free trial of the premium version of Adobe Spark, or just try out the free version first, whatever suits your needs. When you first log into your Adobe Spark dashboard, you're going to see a few different ideas for the types of graphics you can create for different social accounts here. But I'm going to jump up here into the search bar and search for Instagram story templates, because that's the kind of marketing material I want to be creating with you today. Now, when you're in this view, you're going to see some templates that have this yellow tab up in the right-hand corner. That means that these are premium templates. So if you're on a premium Adobe Spark account, you can feel free to use these. Otherwise, go ahead and use any of the free ones. I am on the premium account, but I'm actually going to go ahead and select this template over here. Now, once you actually select your template, you're not stuck with it forever, so you can change your mind once you're in the editor. You will have a similar search bar and a similar view of the different kinds of templates that you can switch into if you ever change your mind over here. So in this templates tab, you can always jump back in and select a different template if this one doesn't quite suit your needs. So we are happy with the template. We're going to go ahead and move through to design. Now, because I'm on the premium account, I can actually brand this to my specific colors and logos. But the first thing I want to do before going ahead and doing that is I want to actually choose a variation of this template. So every time you select a template, you will have the option to create a slight variation of it based on the different looks and feels that it's presenting you with here. It means that it will keep your image and the text and any design element of this template, but giving it to you in a slightly different variation. So I want to go ahead and select this one over here because it's bright and it's colorful and I quite like it. It's quite sort of living to Romy anyways. And then I'm going to go ahead and select Brandify. So it's going to make it in my particular brand colors. So this is already quite cool. I'm going to show you some different ways to change this, but I'm going to go ahead and do some manual labor here and just hit delete on my keyboard to get rid of these different elements that I don't particularly want in my design. And for this purpose, I actually don't really want this logo or any of my other logos in this selection panel because it's going on an Instagram story, and that means that my image and our name is going to be there anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And now we can go ahead and move through to colors. So you can see that these are the current colors, which are kind of a variation of our brand colors. But what I want to go for is these bright, colorful ones over here. So that's a little bit more our style. And I can go ahead and keep on clicking through to shuffle through these until I find one that I really like. So that's right up my alley there. I quite like that. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And I'm actually going to delete these different text elements here. And I'm just going to keep one text box, and I'm going to double click into this to change the text, and I'm going to make this a Sunday morning workout instead of a Sunday morning breakfast. That's awesome. I'm actually going to be moving this over here because I'm going to be changing the color so it's going to pop a little bit more. So once you're in the text format, you can go through to changing the color, the shape, effects, and then this little tab over here is quite magical, and it's a really cool tool that's unique to Adobe Spark, which allows you to literally just cycle through different styles of fonts until you find one that you really like. So feel free to get really funky with it. You can always go back. So if you change your mind and you go, oh, that one of those first ones was actually quite good, which is my exact case here. I really like this first one. So I'm going to go ahead and select that one, and I'm going to move over to shape and maybe give it a bit of a background shape here. Now that's already quite cool, but it doesn't quite stand out compared to the rest of this theme, which is quite insanely colorful. So I'm going to just go ahead and move through to the color, and you can see that the current colors are kind of this grayish and a dark gray green, and it's going to give you some different color combos based on my brand colors. So because I'm on a black background, if I select this, it's going to give me a dark background, and this is the primary color of the font. So I actually want to kind of go the opposite direction, where the background is going to be the more colorful part, and then the font is going to be a bit darker. So that looks quite cool there. And now this doesn't really make sense, right? So this is a picture of breakfast. I want to make sure that it's a picture that makes sense with what I've written here, which is the Sunday morning workout. So I'm going to just click into that and click on replace. So I can find a completely free image here that Adobe Spark provides us with of something that's relevant to either people working out or the gym or something similar to that. I quite like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and select it. And I want to make sure that it's visible. So what I need to do is just click and drag until it's in place. That looks cool. Now that's quite dark compared to what's going on the right hand side here. So maybe I would go through and jump into my colors again and maybe shuffle these one more time to get a bit of a blacker grid there. And I can also click on the image and click on filters, and maybe change this one up to kind of match the rest of the theme here. Make it a little bit brighter, perhaps. Lighten that up a little bit. Yeah, that looks really cool. So I'm happy with that. And the last thing that I want to point out to you in Adobe Spark is the fact that you can actually resize your graphic to suit different social platforms. So currently we're designing a post for Instagram stories, but if you really, really like the post and you want to go ahead and reuse that for other social media networks, you can just come in here and select the post that you're looking to create, and it'll actually resize it for you perfectly with the dimensions that Adobe Spark knows that you need in order to create the post that you're selecting. So that means that once you create a template that you really like, you never have to really go through and shuffle around manually and try and get everything to line up and work and look beautiful for different social platforms. You can just come in here and resize it again and again, maybe edit out the text, maybe edit out the image, but it saves you a lot of time in the long run. So it's a really, really cool feature of Adobe Spark. And now I'm going to actually move over to the mobile app so I can show you some cool animation features that only exist on the mobile app. So I'll see you there. So on the mobile app, you want to go ahead and open up the Spark Post app and sign in. And this is where you could actually create content from scratch or edit your existing posts. This is also where you can click into this animation tab to see already animated posts like this one over here, and just hit on remix this template to start editing it to suit your needs. So this is quite unique to the mobile app only, where you can create these awesome animations that are specifically cool for social media. So we're going to go ahead and do that with our existing posts. So I'm going to click into my posts and select this post that we've created on the desktop and hit on edit. And now what we can do is click on animation and go ahead and edit the text that we wrote there. So once you hit on a selection that you like, you can hit the play button to see what that would look like. So I really like that, and I'm going to go ahead and click on done. Now you can also click on add and add stickers here. So you're searching through similar GIFs that are on Instagram. So for example, if I'm searching for workout stickers here, you can add them straight in through Adobe Spark. The one downside of this is that it's going to show the animation of the text first, and then it's going to play the GIFs, which is why I actually opt to save this as its own animation and then add the GIFs inside of Instagram, so that the image or the GIFs and the text are kind of playing all at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and just save that as a video animation. Once it's saved onto my phone, I can just jump into Instagram and then start adding my GIFs in. So that's already looking really good. And I want to go ahead and add in my GIFs, and I can also tag other accounts, use my hashtags, and do all of that good stuff here as well. So it's really, really great to be able to add a few extra things in at the end. The other reason I quite like this is because it's a little bit easier to move the GIFs around without the grids that you have in Adobe Spark, because they try and align things perfectly for you, which sometimes you don't actually want to do. Sometimes you kind of want things to be a little bit wacky. So I just find it to be a little bit easier to do inside of Instagram itself. All right, that looks cool. And maybe add one more. This is an enthusiastic dolphin here. There are some weird GIFs in this world. I quite like this one. So let's have him working out on her arm there. So that's the demo of the premium subscription of the Adobe Spark platform, where you can use all of these different templates and also collaborate with other people on your projects. And as a social media manager and a digital marketer, the big winner for me for this platform has been the fact that you can save multiple brand elements under just one account. So if you're a freelancer like me managing multiple clients' graphics, you can keep all your logos, colors, and fonts separate under each individual brand and create templates based on these elements that you can then use again and again. You can also pull from these brand elements when you're in the editor itself and you want to add colors and fonts or your client's logo straight into the design you're creating. On the free version of Adobe Spark, you can expect to see the watermark on both your graphics and your videos as well. And you will have some limited capabilities when it comes to the templates on both desktop and mobile. But the good news is that if you're already on any of the Adobe Creative Cloud subscriptions, you will already have free access to Adobe Spark. So you can just head to the website and log straight in and you'll have access to everything. Otherwise, if you're interested, make sure to check out the link in the description of this video for your free trial of the premium features of Adobe Spark. Now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and give us a subscribe and let me know what you thought in the comments. Thanks again, and as always, until next time, keep creating the life you love.